Contestant Jack Byrne, a law student from New South Wales and one-time hair model who was named after Jack Brabham and often claims that his favourite film is Days of Thunder. Your special subject is?
Formula One motor racing from 1980 to present.
Oh, OK then. Now a former hair model.
Yeah, that was certainly for the before shot.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Those exciting heady days.
Yeah, just a few extra bucks on the side. So.
Very nice indeed. Is that the only bit of modelling you've done?
Certainly, absolutely. Yeah, with a mug like this, yes, I think so.
Oh, no one's asked me to do any hair modelling, Jack. No one ever will. All right, here we go, Jack. Formula One racing 1980 to the present. Good luck. Your 90 seconds begin now. Which driver won the opening race of the 2009 Formula One season?
Jenson Button.
Correct. After coming second the year before, who won the 2008 Drivers' title?
Lewis Hamilton.
Correct. In 1980, Australia's Alan Jones won the World Drivers' Championship with which British team?
Williams.
Correct. At Dallas in 1984, which Briton collapsed after famously pushing his stricken Lotus towards the finish line?
Nigel Mansell.
Correct. What was the last year Adelaide hosted a Formula One Grand Prix?
1995.
Correct. The controversial Brazilian Grand Prix of 2003 eventually saw which driver replace Kimi Raikkonen as the declared winner?
Giancarlo Fisichella.
Correct. From 1989 to 2006, who held the record for most pole positions?
Ayrton Senna.
Correct. How many times did Michael Schumacher win the Australian Grand Prix?
4.
Correct. In 1981 and 82, which Las Vegas hotel and casino was host to a Formula One race?
Caesars Palace.
Correct. Who won back-to-back Drivers' Championships driving a Renault in 2005 and 6?
Fernando Alonso.
Correct. During the 1998 Formula One season, who was the only driver to be disqualified?
Pass.
Damon Hill. In 1983, which track hosted the race originally scheduled to take place at New York's Flushing Meadows?
Pass.
Brands Hatch. For the 1983 season, which Formula One driver signed with Renault joining Alain Prost?
Eddie Cheever.
Correct. At the abandoned Malaysian Grand Prix of 2009, which driver failed to complete the first lap? Heikki Kovalainen.
Yep.
Jack, 1,100 points. Bonus question to come. Here we go. Possible 200 points if you choose to use the Brains Trust, and they get it right. In 2002, Mark Webber became the first Aussie F1 driver since Alan Jones in the 80s. True or false, Jack? What do you want to do?
I'll pass over the Brains Trust.
All right. In 2002, Mark Webber became the first Aussie F1 driver since Alan Jones in the 80s. True or false?
I don't think it would be that
You'd think you'd know his name.
scarce.
Yeah.
I just... Not that we have a proud history of Formula One racing, but...
But we would know, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
That's where I'm sort of going
So
on.
we're saying true, yeah?
I'm saying false because I just think
I'm saying...
we would have produced someone in 15 years.
Yeah, and I think
that's
he
just
would have been on a stamp or something,
just
I'm
a
sure. So I'm saying false as well. But you're captain.
No, false. Let's say false.
Brains Trust is saying false, Jack. What would you have said?
False is correct.
False is correct. David Brabham.
Hey.
Jack's son turned up in the early 90s. Well done, Brains Trust. Jack's now on 1,300 points. Well done, you guys.
Now, I must admit, I was amazed that some of these cars use something like 12 litres of fuel a second. Now, that's a huge amount of fuel. And in these days, I think it's fair to say that's not really good. Do you think the Grand Prix will ever go green? Are there any green measures that sort of perhaps...
Yeah,
they're biofuel races or something?
Yeah, they're making efforts. In 2009, for instance, the regulations have without boring you too much, they have a system called KERS, which is called Kinetic Energy Recovery System. And essentially that takes the energy created when the car brakes and transmits it to a battery in the car.
Really?
And that battery is used to create an extra 80 horsepower for some of the cars. So some of the cars have it and some of them don't at the moment. But it's a way that Formula One's trying to look towards being more green. Other things like lesser engine restrictions and things like that. But they're trying, but it's very hard to justify when you give a statistic like that. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's high time they started carpooling.
There's an extra seat in the back. Yeah.
Just one person to a car. What's that about?
That's right, yes. Big teaming.
Let's see where the scores are at the end of round one. Martin's on 1,000, Emily's 1,200, Jack's got the lead, 1,300. It's a close one tonight.